The Nuggets hoping to get a win over the Clippers this season. Can they do it? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets faced the Clippers tonight, part of their new games added since they didn't make the NBA Cup, and they were in Denver. It was the third time the Nuggets faced the Clippers this season so far. We'll play them one more time after this, and we finally got a win over the Clippers. Oh my God. Talk about a well-deserved win. Everything, not everything about this game was perfect, but it was close to perfect. I mean, you had several things, and we'll go over all of it. But the Nuggets take their first victory, the Clippers, this season of a 120-98. So first takes of the game here, Jamal was finally back after missing a couple of games with his hamstring issue. And right out of the gate, the first concern was he going to come back as the Jamal Murray that he's been this season? Or is he going to come back with a little bit of fire? Or is he going to come back worse and a little bit of showing that he's wounded? And right off the bat, it kind of felt like he was more of the old Jamal Murray that we know and love. It was really good to see. He had probably his best game of the season so far, I would say. I mean, I think he's scored higher than this before, but to see the fire that he actually was showing and the emotion in this game, he had several steals. It just felt more like he was the typical Jamal Murray that we see. He was the Nuggets' leading scorer tonight, which was awesome. Then overall, the Nuggets didn't really score very high. It was kind of somewhat of a lower scoring for all the Nuggets, but it also because it was kind of shared more upon the entire roster, which was really nice. Every single Nugget that played tonight made a bucket, which was awesome. I would much rather take this than a monster Jokić game where we lose or barely win. So it was a good win. So the Nuggets were in the navy blue jerseys tonight. The Clippers in the red. The starters were the usual starters since Jamal was back. It was Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, and Nikola Jokić. So the usual suspects, which we'll say. And it's been since November 10th since the Nuggets have had a back-to-back win. That was all the way back at the beginning of the season when we had a stand at home where we had 5-game win streak at home, which was nice. And ever since then, it's been a on-off kind of win-lose, lose-lose, win kind of scenario. So this was the first time we've had back-to-back wins since November 10th. We are sitting at the 7th seed going into this game with a record of 12-10. They were hoping to improve their record to 13-10, and they did it. Got to give credit to the Nuggets, especially with Clippers team that is coming out really hard this week or this season. No pun intended. And so the first quarter, the Clippers controlled the tap, and Zubac right out of the bat, Zubac had a really good game. He was the only player tonight who scored a double-double, surprisingly. I'm sure that surprised everyone, even all of you watching. That means that if he was the only one, that means that Jokić didn't get a double-double, which is true. He did not get his usual stats that he got, but We'll get into that later. Zubac had a good game though. He had a decent game. He had he was controlling the rebounds. Whenever he was in the game, he was controlling the board. It was very frustrating from a Nugget standpoint. And there was actually a couple of times where he definitely escaped some fouls. But the Clippers controlled the tap and get a turnover. MPJ misses the bucket, though. That gets the Clippers to get the rebound and then the first points with a bucket of the game. Murray sinks a three for the first points for the Nuggets. And Batum, who was just also a pest tonight, got a travel and then a turnover to the Nuggets for AG to power it in and lay it up, getting a foul for the first and one for the Nuggets and the first lead. Jamal got a backdoor cut to Jokić for a layup in Jokic's first points of the game. Harden flops. He completely flopped at the 3-point line and doesn't get the call he wanted. And Jamal responds, though, with making a three, which was an amazing clap back. I loved that so much because since if you've watched all my episodes so far, I'm not a big fan of Harden. He flops way too much and gets to the foul line way too easily. It's him and Embiid are the only players, are the two biggest offenders of the flopping. I'm sure you could maybe gather another 5 in there, but those are the two biggest ones right there. So the fact that he didn't get the call was phenomenal. The Nuggets actually held him to only one trip to the free throw line, just 2 free throws. That's amazing. Last time it was 13. To whittle that down to 2, phenomenal. The Nuggets were the first to 15. The Nuggets then go on a run to get a 7-point lead with AG assisting Michael Porter Jr. for a dunk. Clippers nail a 3 to cut the lead to 4. And then the Nuggets win the first quarter 29-22. Second quarter, Nuggets start off the quarter with P-Watt with a pump fake and foul gets 1 of 2 free throws. Nuggets suffer a 7 turnovers. This is where, I'm saying, that's not all perfect. The second quarter was a roller coaster of emotions. It almost felt like they just kind of gave up the game a little bit in that second quarter. It was not fun. They got very, very sloppy. But luckily the Clippers weren't really on their A game to capitalize much on these turnovers. They could have easily have, gone up like 20 against us with these turnovers. It was, we lucked out. I will say, as a Nuggets fan, we lucked out. The Clippers were not having their best game tonight. But the Clippers did call a challenge on an out of bounds call that was successful and got them to the foul line, actually. That will happen one more time after this later on. Nuggets then have their 11th turnover so they have 11 turnovers in the first half at this point in the second quarter. Horrible. It was a 10-0 run by the Clippers, with Nuggets leading as much as 13 before that, but which was then dwindled down to 2. And the sloppy playing from the Nuggets allowed the Clippers to then take the lead. They get back Jokić into the game. As you can see, that happened while Jokić was out. But Jokić and CB get the Nuggets to a little run with back-to-back steals and a bounce back that gets them, back up into the lead. Clippers, though, win the second quarter 25-19. The Nuggets, though, stay on top going into the half 48-47. So third quarter, the Nuggets start off with a turnover. Not great. The Clippers get a floater for the first points of the quarter. Jamal then hits a jumper for the first Nuggets points in the quarter. Back-to-back threes from Batum forces Malone to take a timeout. Jamal Murray drains a 3, followed by that by Christian Brown with a dunk, assisted by Michael Porter Jr. for the Nuggets to get the lead again. then the Michael Porter Jr. starts having a Porter quarter. He went off in the third quarter. It was great to see. He almost, I think, took AG's job as the cleanup crew underneath the bucket there, the basket. It was awesome. There was one that Jokić missed the shot, and I think AG was trying to get it, but he didn't have a good angle, and Michael Porter just came in, crashed on the glass, and got that putback, which was like, that's the kind of fire and like energy that we need. Is just like staying focused, staying locked in, and so he causes the Nuggets to go on a 23-5 run, bringing the Nuggets lead up to 11. Westbrook draws the defense and kicks it out to Jokić, who drains it a three to give the Nuggets the biggest lead of 14 at this point. And then the Nuggets get back-to-back steals and then take the third quarter 25-15. Awesome third quarter for the Nuggets. And because we were up so high, Jokić sat out the entire fourth quarter, as well as Christian Braun. I'm a little bit of iffy on that one. I think it would have been great to have had them both in just for a little bit, because unfortunately Christian Braun did not make his double digits. This was the first game, breaking his 20. What are we on? The 23rd game or whatever now of the season. 22 game run of double digits. He didn't get that, and Jokić also not getting any double doubles or triple doubles or anything. This is his first time without a monster game, so there's that. But the Clippers start the quarter off immediately with a bucket. Murray answers with a jumper. P. Watt sinks a three, and both him and Brodie start to show passion. It was amazing to see. You got some great steals from Brodie and some great steals from P. Watt. It almost felt like the steals and the energy that Brodie was giving was radiating over to P. Watt and the other rest of the Nuggets. Really fed the defense for the Nuggets there. The Clippers call another challenge, like I told you, they came later, on a jumping three from, I think it was Bones Highland was there, and Jamal Murray went to go block it, and apparently he tagged him a little bit, and so it wasn't out. The ball went out of bounds. They called it for the Nuggets, but then they challenged it, was successful. Sent Bones Highland to the free throw line to shoot three. Not great, but we're still up phenomenally at this point. So vastly so. The Nuggets actually get an 18-point lead, and P. Watt at the free throw line gets the Nuggets lead to 20. Brodie gets a steal, leading to Julian for a dunk to get the Nuggets first to 100. Zeke saw some minutes. Jalen Pickett saw some minutes. Who else? Hunter Tyson. The regular bench, not the deep bench. The regular bench all saw minutes tonight, and they all scored, which was nice because Zeke got a layup, which officially made it that all Nuggets got got some points this game. And like I said before, Jokić sat out the entire quarter. His lowest stats this season was in this game. Christian Braun rested for the quarter, but the Nuggets did win the fourth quarter 37-29. The last play of the game was really sloppy. Hunter got the steal, but then he panicked and fumbled it, and then got it back to the Clippers. I think it got back to Bones, and who sank a three after that. So we actually did have a bigger lead down to the seconds had they just held on to that ball a little bit longer. But we still held them under 100, which we call a munder. Is whenever the Nuggets hold their opponents under 100. It's called a munder. So we had our first munder of the season, which was awesome. And the Nuggets beat the Clippers, finally, keeping them under 100, like I said, 120-98. So after the break here, we'll get into stats. Hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. And we're back. All right, so let's go over stats here. So Michael Porter Jr. Played 28 minutes, had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was 5 for 11 from field goals, 2 for 7 in three-pointers, 5 for 16 in free throws. Much better free throw game for Michael Porter Jr. tonight than usual. Really great to see. He was also sporting a Nuggets jacket tonight, which is just awesome to see that kind of support for the team. He had 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls with a plus 15. Aaron Gordon played 23 minutes, had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 4 for 7 in field goals, 1 for 2 in three-pointers, 5 for 5 in free throws, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls was a plus 10. Jokić played 29 minutes. I'm pretty sure that's the lowest amount of time that he has spent, because even in the second quarter, he didn't really play a lot of the second quarter. He probably played half, if not less than that, in the second quarter. So he had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 6 for 9 from field goals, 2 for 2 from three-pointers, 2 for 4 in free throws, 5 turnovers, 2 personal fouls was a plus 14. Christian Brown played 23 minutes, had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 4 for 8 from field goals. He was 0 for 4 in three-pointers, unfortunately. Just couldn't get the three-pointers to sink in there. He had 0 turnovers, though, and 2 personal fouls was a plus 8. And then Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray had played 31 minutes. I believe he played the most amount of minutes tonight, even though he was technically the most injured one. He played the most amount of minutes, and 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. So this is where I'm telling everyone, like, when you talk about Jamal Murray not making a lot of points, he makes it up in defense. Like, he's one of our best defenders right now, especially with the steals, man. 4 steals, 1 block, 8 for 16 in field goals, 2 for 5 in three-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws, 6 turnovers. Not great, but, like I said, he did make it up with the steals, and 2 personal fouls. He was a plus 10. And those turnovers, it wasn't like sloppy turnovers. It was just the defense on the Clippers doing really well and getting a turnover from it. So then the bench, I'll just go over points for bench real quick. That Westbrook had 5, but again, his defense was on point. He had 3 steals. So him and Murray both were stealing a lot of balls there. Julian Strother had 12 points off the bench. Watson had 14 points off the bench. DeAndre Jordan had 4. Hunter Tyson had 5. Jalen Pickett had 3. He shot a great 3-point shot. And then Zeke Naji had 2 points off the bench. And they held. So before this, Norman Powell and James Harden were 2 of the biggest bullies of the Nuggets this season so far. They were the biggest threats, and they held Norman Powell to just 16 points. Last time we faced the Clippers, Harden went for 39 points. This time around, we held him down to 15 points. Norman Powell only 1 trip to the free throw. Harden only 1 trip to the free throw. Like, phenomenal to see. But like I said, Zubac was the one that was really killing it with the rebounds. So, and then Bones Highland and Porter Jr. on their side both had a lot of points. They were shooting, they were heating up from three. So overall points, or overall stats, I should say. So we had 46 rebounds to their 31. We had 23 assists to their 24, 15 steals to their 18, 2 blocks to their 2, so we tied it there. And Chris Dunn for them was the one that had 4 steals, so he had the same amount as Jamal Murray, but more of their players got more steals than ours. So that's kind of where that ended up. We shot 54.5% from field goals. They shot 44.6. We shot 34.5 from 3 points. They shot 34.1, so pretty much even there. 81.3% from free throw line. They were 55.6, so much better there for us. We had 21 turnovers. That was the biggest critique from this game, was just the amount of turnovers was just gross. The amount of turnovers there. So they had 19, so they still had quite a few, but we had 21. We had 16 personal fouls. They had 22. So, not perfect. There is a lot that they can clean up, but like Malone says, it's always better to clean up after a win than to have to clean up after a loss. So we'll get into big takes after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. All right, so big takeaways from this game. Again, this is the first game that the Nuggets being able to hold their opponent under 100 this season. Great energy from the bench. I mean, the bench was better tonight. The defense was better tonight. And this was both two things that we were seeing from the game against the Hawks. If we continue to keep this energy, we can easily, get up to the 4th or 3rd seed in the Western Conference. I don't think that it's, far-fetched. Despite the other teams playing very well as well, it's a very difficult West. But you know what? Looking at the overall stats or the standings in the NBA right now, this is a much different season for sure. The Eastern Conference has been playing a lot better than last year. Last year, you just had the Celtics playing good. This year, most of the top 5, top 6 in the Eastern Conference some of them are actually better than I would say like between seed 4 to 10 of the Western Conference. So, it's a much more even keeled season this year. And so, overall, I think we can try to make a run for at least that 3rd seed, if not the 4th seed, and still have a good place in the playoffs where we can, give a little bit of rest and then hit it hard. Hopefully get the conference finals this year again. Would be great. A great achievement for the Nuggets to at least make the conference finals. I mean, obviously we want to go to the finals and win, so hopefully they do that. But great bench tonight, great defense. I'd take this kind of game again. I would, like I said it before, I would take this kind of game over any day over one that has a monster game from Jokić where we either lose or barely win. That loss against the Wizards, despite Jokić having his best game of the season, it was the most embarrassing game for the Nuggets. To lose to the worst team in the league is just an embarrassment. To snap their losing streak is just an embarrassment. We also lost to the worst team in the Western Conference with the Pelicans. So to lose to both of the worst teams in each conference, one of them being the worst team in the league, was just super embarrassing. And then we had that horrible loss against the Knicks at home. And so hopefully those three embarrassing losses, the Pelicans, the Wizards, and the Knicks, have really kicked them into high gear and getting them fired up to try to care about this season. And now that the cup is kind of out of sight and out of mind for them now, we can just focus on the regular season and push until that All-Star break, which will be awesome. So, but Jamal Murray also needs to have a more consistent game. I think that's the name of the game right now, is just consistency. Can the next game be like they've shown tonight and against the Hawks? I think if we can go on to at least a 5-game winning streak, 6-game winning streak with this kind of energy, it will really help out the Nuggets overall, make that push that they want. And I think they can do it. And especially you need that same kind of fire up energy from Michael Porter Jr. From the bench needs to be the same consistency. And then if you add that, plus if Jokić does have a good game again, come on. Like, we're going to be unstoppable. So the next game is going to be on Monday against, I believe it was Monday. Let me check my stats here real quick. Yes, it is Monday against the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. So they will head out to California here on Sunday, face them 7 p.m. Western time. That's 8 p.m. Mountain time. So, and head against the Domantas Sabonis and Fox and DeRozan challenge in Sacramento. That team has been struggling. I don't know why they've been struggling, because they have those 3 amazing players on there, and they're hungry for some more wins. So it's going to be a dogfight for sure, and just need them to stay locked in. Nuggets need to stay locked in, and we'll get it. That's all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll catch you later.